The Edge Media Group chairman Tan Sri Tong Kooi Ong testified in the 1MDB trial today that he was shown the door after telling Datuk Seri Najib Razak how money meant for a joint venture with Saudi International was stolen by low-tech Jho. Tong, who appeared as a prosecution witness, said this when questioned by lead prosecutor Datuk Seri Gopal Sri Ram about an article written by him and published by The Edge on November 26, 2018. Tong said that in their meeting on March 6, 2015 at Najib's Langat Duta House, he had shown that a large chunk of the $1.8 billion of funds that 1MDB invested in the JV was siphoned out by Jho Low and Saudi founders Tariq Obaid, Patrick Mahoney and Prince Turki. This was based on the thousands and thousands of emails of Saudi passed from its former executive Xavier Justo, which clearly showed that Saudi wasn't a company owned by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, but a privately owned one. Tong added that the initial $1 billion pumped into the JV was not done based on real evaluation, and that $700 million from this sum had been diverted to Goodstar, which Jho Low owned. He also told the then PM that Jho Low was making decisions at the state-owned fund and that he should be prosecuted. Tong said the Pekan MP then stood up and opened the door for him, and so he left. Caretaker Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob says any parties that wish to cooperate with BN can negotiate with the coalition after the outcome of the 15th general election. According to a Bernama report, Ismail Sabri said this at a meet and greet session in Keramat, Kuala Lumpur. Asked if UMNO-led BN would accept PAS as a partner, he said if a proposal to collaborate is made, then it would be brought to the UMNO Supreme Council level. He also said that PAS should consider joining another coalition since it did not seem to enjoy the right to voice its views in PN. At a separate event, Ismail Sabri said voters should not be influenced by the findings of independent survey bodies, saying they're only propaganda and psychological warfare by the opposition parties to attract fence-sitters. This was after British market research and data analytics firm YouGov said GE15 is unlikely to produce a clear winner, although PH is most likely to win the largest share of the votes at 35%. In a statement today, the pollsters said that PN and PAS are set to pick up 20% of the votes, with BN trailing at 17%. 20% of the respondents did not disclose their choice. When it comes to political figures in particular, YouGov said Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin appears to hold the best impression, with 1 in 3 or 33% feeling positive toward him. It said he has a narrow lead over Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, with 29% backing the PH chairman to lead the country, while Ismail Sabri is less popular, with 22% expressing a positive view toward him. Only 16% have a good impression of Tan Sri Abdul Hadi Awang, and 14% support two-time ex-PM Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Nationwide Express Courier Services is set to become the latest last-mile delivery company to cease operations amid a challenging and competitive operating environment. The company said in a statement that it is currently taking steps to gradually cease its business operations after a winding-up petition was filed against it. Its head of strategic sales and marketing, Shahrinda Azman, said in a statement that the winding-up petition may eventually lead to cessation of business and operations, which ultimately will result in the closure of the entire company. Founded by the late Tan Sri Basir Ismail, Nationwide Express was one of Malaysia's leading courier service providers. Its roots can be traced back to 1985. The company said it is ceasing its business operations effective December 15th, with its last pickup on December 7th. According to its website, Nationwide Express has 1,100 employees, a fleet of more than 300 vehicles and 500 motorbike couriers. It has a network of 150 branches in Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei, with the capacity to handle over 40,000 packages per day. Petronas has reportedly expressed interest to participate in Indonesia's takeover of Shell's stake in the Abadi LNG project. The Indonesian government has said a consortium of Pertamina, the Indonesia Investment Authority and other companies could take Shell's 35% stake in the Abadi project after the energy company signalled its intention to withdraw. A Reuters report said that Dwi Sojipto, chairman of upstream oil and gas regulator SKK Migas, told a parliamentary hearing today that Petronas is also interested to join and, if possible, work together with Pertamina in terms of replacing Shell. Petronas reportedly said it could not immediately comment. Japanese energy company Inpex Corp controls 65% of the project, also known as the Masela Gas Project in Indonesia's southeast Maluku Islands. Pertamina is said to have conducted data room study and is due to submit a non-binding offer to Inpex and Shell this month. The report noted that Inpex is expected to submit a revised development plan on the project to include a carbon capture installation in their investment in December. The project had previously been expected to cost around $20 billion. Analysts are mixed on the earnings prospects of Dialog Group, which booked a 2.4% fall in its latest quarterly net profit. A Bernama report highlighted that MIDF Research has slashed its earnings estimate for the group by 2% for FY 2023 and 2.5% for FY 2024, in view of its first quarter results and volatility in the oil market. It revised downwards its target price from RM3.96 to RM3.70. Maybank Investment Bank retained its earnings forecasts for Dialog as it anticipates higher upstream profits in the coming quarters. It sees Dialog achieving a core net profit of RM605 million for FY23 and RM658 million for FY24. Kenanga Research also made no changes to Dialog's FY23 to 24 numbers, saying it believes the group's long-term prospects remain largely intact, with further developments in Pengerang Phase 3 to act as a potential re-rating catalyst. It kept its outperform call on Dialog with a target price of RM3.10. Dialog ended trading today 2.5% higher at RM2.08 for a market capitalization of RM11.7 billion.